Welcome to Growing Up Boomer. I'm your host, Padre, with my co-host, Professor. And this podcast is dedicated to the life and times of the baby boomer generation. The show is loosely scripted, and sometimes we'll go down rabbit holes, and where it leads us to, one will never know. This podcast can be informative, funny, and sometimes irreverent. But most of all, we hope you find it entertaining. Hey, Professor, how's it going, my man?
I'm good, Padre. How's things?
Oh, man, I cannot complain, you know? It's just
Okay.
beautiful.
All right. I got something to complain about. Gas prices in California. Holy mackerel.
You're not used to that, are you?
Jeez. Talk about shell shock. Anyway, let's not get off on that. Things are great.
Well, welcome to California. See, you forgot all about that, didn't
Yeah, I
you?
know. Yeah, we spent a nice weekend with my granddaughter down there. We just got back to work. So,
Excellent.
yeah, anyway. So, yep.
Oh, good. Glad to hear that. Yeah, it's always, I'm always, shall we say, I am always questioning why 39, I think it's like 39 states are under $4 a gallon.
Mm-hmm.
and we are what, like 550, 565?
That's
in Benicia. That's in Benicia.
On the freeway, $5.99
Yes.
on I-5.
Yeah.
Okay, it was just a mind blower.
Yeah.
Okay, now of course there's the summer blend, but it's not summer yet. But of course Valero's closing.
Yes.
Okay, so I don't know if there's any output out of the Benicia refinery right now.
No,
I mean,
there's not. There is not. They closed it down.
Yeah, so I mean that's all affecting prices. So anyway, it is what it is.
It is what it is. But hey, I got to tell you this. You know, it's been a while since you and I have talked.
Yeah, a couple of weeks, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, you know what? One thing I did not mention on our last podcast is how many countries have been downloading, new countries have been downloading our audio podcast.
Well, tell me how many.
36. Let me give them to you. And they're all over.
You're going to
the
tell
board.
me all of them? You're going to go through a list of 36? Okay, I'm all in.
36. Okay, you ready? I'll try to pronounce them correctly. Okay?
If you don't, you have to start over.
So you listeners, if I mispronounce the country, it's because I am a product of the LA Unified School District. Okay?
Disclaimer. Okay,
Okay, are you ready?
I'm ready. Go through
First
them.
one: Iraq, Malaysia, Indonesia, Kazakhstan, Morocco, Pakistan, Turkey, Vietnam. Now, I don't know who's downloading in Vietnam, but they have at one time more downloads than the United States.
Okay.
It's unbelievable. Finland, Jamaica, Bulgaria, Oman, Venezuela, Uzbekistan, Bolivia, Paraguay, Albania, let me see here, Azerbaijan, okay, Armenia, Bahrain, Belarus, Republic of Congo, Chile, Serbia, Algeria, Israel, Jordan, Kenya, Lebanon, Sri Lanka, Nicaragua, Paraguay, Uruguay, Peru, let me see, Syria, Arab Republic, Egypt, and Guatemala.
Wow.
I mean, that is quite, I mean, we've
And
never
those
had
are
that
all-
many.
Those are all new ones?
Those are all new ones. We've never had downloads from any of those countries.
Well, I don't know what's up with that. Now, most of those are like Middle East and Far
Yes.
East. I mean, South American Central too.
Yeah.
Okay. So are there any new states?
No. We need 3 states is what we need.
What are we missing? Do you know?
Montana,
Uh-huh.
Wyoming,
Uh-huh.
and Alaska.
Oh, wow. Okay, my granddaughter is just in Alaska. Okay. If I'd have known that, I would have told her to tell her uncle to tune in.
Please download.
Please download so we can have the big 50.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's incredible. That's something. That's great. Good.
Yeah. That was pretty amazing. That was pretty amazing. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, so I mean, that was a lot of downloads. We've never had that many, and these are all new countries. I mean, all new countries.
Wow.
You know. Oh,
Okay, good.
I think our last download about, what was it? No. About 3 weeks ago was about Chuck Norris.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. They cannot let this man rest in peace.
Okay.
Remember I told you about all the jokes about Chuck Norris?
Yep.
Now they have memes of Chuck Norris.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
And they are hilarious.
Okay.
They have one of all, it's kind of like adversaries, bad guys, right?
Sure.
In
Yeah.
movies.
Yeah.
And not regular bad guys, okay? Like the T-Rex from Jurassic Park.
Got it.
Okay. Remember that one where he's chasing them, the Jeep, he flips over the Jeep and the people are running and he's chasing them? The T-Rex?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Chuck Norris comes out of nowhere, gives him a roundhouse, and the dinosaur goes down.
Okay. Oh, that makes sense.
It's all stuff like that, like the one with Roy Schreider and Jaws. Remember? He's throwing the bait. Instead of the shark, the Chuck Norris comes by and boom! It's just so bad.
Well, he's got a lot of followers. Put it that way. Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I do have real quick. I have one movie review for you.
Okay, doke.
And then an article when we get started.
Okay.
Movie review is Dust Bunny.
Okay, I've heard of that. I haven't seen it.
I think it's on Netflix.
Dust Bunny. Okay, anyway.
It is way out there. Okay?
Even for you.
Even for me. I mean, I read the premise.
Okay.
And I thought, this sounds like my kind of movie.
Okay.
But it is really way out there. What's his name? Mads Mikkelsen is in it. And then Sigourney Weaver has a small part in it.
Okay.
But, it is. He's like an assassin, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this little girl sees him, I guess, taking out all these guys, but they're in a dragon outfit. It's like Chinatown at the time, during the Chinese New Year, and so they have the dragon. So she thinks he can kill monsters.
Ooh.
In which case, she believes there's a monster under her bed.
Okay.
In which case, the guy, what ends up happening was that it was assassins looking for him. They got the wrong apartment. At least that's what he believes, until it finds out it is a real monster. But it's just bizarre. It's very artsy the way they did it. And it's just one of those that's just kind of interesting.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Now this, I gotta read this quick article for you. Okay. All right. It was one of those that, I never believe anything that I see on the internet.
Not anymore.
X or Facebook or anything like that. I never believed it because, anybody could put anything on there.
In the old days, it was, anyway, you're right. Yeah, can't believe.
Yeah, even in the old days, I would still check it because I just never believed them.
Yeah.
I mean, we're only human. And we all have our things.
Just so you know, we have a poster, that says, "Don't believe you don't believe everything you see on the internet," and it's signed Abraham Lincoln.
That's good. I like that.
There you go.
What do they say? It used to be believe nothing you hear and half what you see. Now it's believe nothing that you hear and nothing that you see.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Well, this article came up. Okay, it was on there, and the comment was, one of the comments were, "I am glad to see they're taking research away from cancer and because to study things that are more important." And I'm thinking so it was a thing on Washington Post. I said, this cannot be right.
Mm-hmm.
This study cannot be right. It was to measure the flatulence of men versus women.
Well, now I get it. Now I can understand. Okay, that's an important thing to study.
Yeah, I'm going like that's, and apparently this has been going on for quite some time. Scientists are really, really interested in this, and this was a whole column in the Washington Post. Like we don't have enough news to cover.
Well, you know what? Maybe they're trying to lighten up the news a little bit because there's a lot of heavy crap in there all the time.
Hey, I can turn on TV and watch other stuff. I don't need to.
Oh, yeah.
I don't need to. Now get this. Okay, the way I look at it, I mean, I read through it, and apparently it's a tie.
What's a tie?
The flatulence between men and women.
Okay, well, what are the metrics? What are the parameters of
the men? Okay,
Uh-huh.
produce more volume.
Okay. Uh-huh.
But the women have a higher concentration of hydrogen sulfide,
Okay.
which means they may be silent, but they're violent. Okay?
Yeah, yep, silent. Yeah, I get that. Okay.
Well, the other thing is, this is what cracks me up. You have to be pretty low in the totem pole if you're the guy that has to figure out which one smells the worst. Okay? You got to be low in the totem pole in the science.
Yeah. Well, never mind. I mean, if you're just using measurement of hydrogen sulfide, you can do that you could do that with machinery.
Yeah.
You can do that. So
I'm
yeah.
sure they did, but you know what? The low man on the totem pole, he's got the one who's got to collect it.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That's
And then they had all kinds of other stuff. They were measuring and this was a 2026 just happened. Measuring, it was University of Maine, I think, measuring who actually has more flatulence, men or women, and they had this underwear, I guess, AI underwear that measures the hydrogen sulfate that comes out.
Joe, I've been enjoying these podcasts, but this is starting to take a turn towards I'm not sure what to tell you. Okay. Okay. I mean, when we were kids, we would fart and laugh like crazy. Okay. But now, so is this article trying to claim that's the reason why money should come from cancer? Okay.
No, that was one of the comments. That was one of the comments.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. They had somebody, and they have all the comments and stuff like that on other, and that was one of the comments. Well, it's good to see that they're really studying something that's important, taking funding away from the cancer research.
Okay. So that was tongue in cheek. Okay, I get that. That makes more sense. Okay, I missed that article, and it's okay.
Yeah, but oh golly, I remember. What did we just call? Cut the cheese.
Yeah.
And when kids, I had my nephew. He'd go, I tooted.
Yep. Oh, okay.
All right, shall we get back into the
You're
podcast?
doing this. Yeah, I think it's about time we get into the podcast. It's a little late. We should have stopped. Anyway, go ahead. Yeah, let's do it.
Oh, by the way, we're talking about what anyone who was born by the end of this last century, say, for instance, 1998 to 2000 or whatever, and on, has no idea what we as baby boomers used to have to do in cars or how we dealt with cars.
Right, I know. Things are definitely different. Things are definitely different.
Speaking of cars, it was the Benicia Car Show.
Oh, you know what? We were there and we went downtown. We had to take something back. We had to take something downtown after a job with my granddaughter.
Yeah.
And I'm in the jacket. It's really busy. There must be something going on. And I didn't put two and two together. Okay. I thought typically it's the last weekend in April.
Yeah. Typically, yes. You were correct.
That's what threw me off because I saw the thing car show on the freeway. Okay. Also, I didn't look at the date. I said, well, it's not now. It's, it's in a couple of weeks anyway. So did you find our car?
I did not. I was looking for a 1965 442. Did not have it.
Yeah.
And you know what? I didn't see a 442. I saw a lot of Cutlasses.
Uh-huh.
And then more basically the third generation, with the slope back type of thing.
Yeah.
The square box.
Yeah.
A lot of those, but they were all Cutlasses.
Those are 67, 8, 9.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the funny thing was, we're getting more and more lowriders in the car show.
Okay.
And I told my wife, hey, this looks like my old neighborhood. Exactly. I said, these cars used to be in my neighborhood. I mean,
they're coming back.
Yeah. And you know what? And when it comes to cars, you know me. I'm a bow tie guy. I'm Chevy all the way. Okay?
Yeah.
but you cannot beat the design of the Mustang in the 60s.
You know what? We were coming home and we were going back and forth with a 65 Mustang in cherry condition going up I-5. And he would pass me and da-da-da-da-da, and then I would end up. So it was, they're pretty good.
Awesome.
I like those cars. Those are great.
They
muscle.
really are. They really are. All right. Well, shall we get into the podcast, my man?
Yes, sir. Let's do it.
Okay. What was the first thing that we had to do?
Well,
listen to music?
Well, we had to use a dial. Okay, we had to use a
dial.
A physical dial. Okay, physical dial. You had to turn it on, okay, and rotate it, and that was the volume. And then you had a dial that you could tune it, and that was it.
Yeah.
There was nothing else.
Yeah.
Okay, no inputs. Okay, nothing else. It wasn't tied to a tape deck. Okay, none of that stuff. It was a dial, and you had to turn that dial, and you had to just be right on.
Yeah.
Okay, just the old analog, okay, stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, and okay. I mean, in fact,
Yeah.
I'm trying to think in my. Did I have FM or just AM? I don't remember now. Was there AM and FM typically in the radios?
It was FM was later. FM came probably in cars.
Yeah.
It had been around for a while, but really
Okay, I'm trying to think about my 65442, which I had. I don't remember
you
anything.
probably only had AM. If you had the original radio, it was AM.
Yeah. Can you imagine that? Everybody out there born in the whenever it is late, the young ones, okay, not being able to stream and just having AM.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know what you guys would do. You guys are probably, I don't know what you do. Anyway.
If you remember, they used to consider FM the pirate radio. It was illegal radio.
Yeah.
It was just a different frequency.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that was the urban legend. But Or how about that radio? And you're right, you had to get it just right, and that's where you got traffic reports.
Yep. Those came in the best.
Yeah.
The traffic reports came in the best. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, AM, yes, the dial radios. Yeah, no streaming, no iPods and pads, and all the other stuff. So yeah.
Well, the other thing is that you could still see that in on some of the old roads when I used to do a lot of work.
Driving
back way back, and you still see AM tuned to 1150 AM for updates, especially in the mountains.
Yeah. Yeah, you still do see those on occasion. I mean, you do if you're going, for traffic reports going up some of the highways. I remember going from the mountains to Tahoe.
Yeah.
Okay, it's, for emergency information, road information, AM. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But back then there was only AM.
Yeah, that was it. That was it, man. And you're right. Those dials, you had to be just right. And then, of course, the cars weren't very, shall we say, especially our cars, because we used to have air shocks or whatever in them. So, of course, they rode real rough, and you'd finally get it, and then you hit a bump, and you had to go over again.
Yeah. Yeah, the other thing, now we had to use an atlas. We actually used maps, paper maps to get around.
Yeah.
Okay, there was no Google Maps.
Yeah.
Okay, it just didn't exist. And so, if you're driving by yourself, okay, I mean, it was really hard to try to do a map and drive. You have to pull over. Okay, you have to do that, try to memorize it and everything else. Okay, so and of course they all folded out. Okay, and then the Thomas Brothers maps came out. Okay, at least those are in booklets. Okay, so they were easier to hold and maneuver. But it was different back then. So much has changed when you think that.
How much easier is it, huh?
I know. It was they're all spoiled. Okay, I don't know what they would do. Can you imagine if they got? What would happen if they got into I'm just pulling something out of that. A 1945 Willys Jeep.
Well, that was bare bones, huh?
We're talking about bare bones, okay? So, I mean, I remember driving one of those in that clutch. Okay, first of all, how many kids, new drivers these days in the U.S., okay, overall percentage are learning stick shift.
Oh. You know what? That is an excellent point, because I looked that up.
Okay, and what's the answer? 'Cause I haven't looked it up.
No, I looked it up.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, in 1955, 50 to 60% of all vehicles were manual transmissions.
Wow, I would have thought they would have been all. You said what year? 55?
55, 50 to 60%.
Wow, I would thought it would have been higher than that. But okay. I mean, okay.
1965,
Yeah.
it was 20 to 30%.
Wow, plummeted in 10
Right.
years.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, don't forget, most of the person buying the family car was the wife.
Yeah.
And so she didn't want to mess around with 3 on the tree or 4 on the floor.
What do you mean was most people buying the car was the wife?
That's wife.
I don't get that. The men went to work.
The men went to work. Normally, a lot of times, if you remember, especially in our household, okay, if the wife drove, she drove the husband to work and dropped him off because there was only one car.
Okay, I get that. Okay. Yeah.
And she needed the car to do all the daily stuff for the house.
Yep. Okay. I get that.
Yeah.
My environment was a bit different, so my reality is a little different.
Yeah, I was going to say, you came from an affluent neighborhood.
I came from a 2-car household.
Yeah.
Even had a 2-car.
There was no such thing. There was no such thing in my neighborhood. One car, that's it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and the mom needed the car to do all this other stuff. Now, my mom didn't drive, so she was the one who took the bus.
Okay. Got it.
But
Yeah.
if you remember, these cars, manual transmissions, now, in 2025, 2%
I believe it.
is manual transmission, and it's probably sports cars.
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know.
Primarily sports cars. What else really has stick shifts? Nothing really.
And the other thing is, most of the high performance cars are now pedal shift on the automatic, but they're pedal shift on the steering wheel.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
Forget the. Did you ever watch the 2 movies, Ford versus Ferrari
Yes.
and Gran Turismo?
Yeah.
You see
Yeah.
both of those?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, about the gamers and stuff like that,
Yeah.
becoming racers. Look at the difference between the cars. I mean, you're mixing fuel on the steering wheel, where where in 1964 you're just shifting.
Oh,
That's it. You're not doing
Yeah.
all this other stuff.
okay. But I just think because I had that 65 442 and I was living in New York. I was living on the island, Long Island.
Mhm.
And I remember racing that car on the street.
Yeah.
Okay. And what a pleasure to be able to get that and just do a power shift.
Mhm.
Okay. I mean, just hit it right and everything else.
Oh, yeah.
Kids don't know what that's about now. So back to my thing. So one, what if they got into let's not even say a Willys Jeep. Let's say they got into a 1955 a 1955 Chevy.
Yeah.
Okay. With the manual on the gear on the steering shift on the shift.
Yeah. 3 on the tree.
Yeah, 3 on the tree. Okay, 3 on the tree. Okay, never mind 4 on the floor. 3 on the tree.
3 on the
Okay,
tree.
with the radios. Now, here's another one that we're talking about is okay. If they wanted to, were there toll booths back then? Probably not. But if they came up to something and they had to talk to somebody through the window, they couldn't push a button. They had to roll it down. So just think about this, okay?
Yeah.
They'd be in a car, okay, that they'd have to coordinate their left foot and the right foot,
Uh-huh.
okay, between the brake and the gas and the shifter, okay,
Yeah.
and the clutch and the shifter, and roll down the window
Yeah.
and turn the dial on the radio. These poor kids, they wouldn't know what to do.
Wait. And have a drink. A cup of coffee.
Oh,
Remember?
yeah.
There was no holders. We
No,
had to
no.
buy those extra that hung on the window.
in the
Right?
windows, yeah,
Yeah,
yep, like
you put it in
right.
there.
Yeah. It's different, yeah.
Well, I told you the story about my kids when I first got my truck. It's a 2002, and it had a crank, manual window crank.
Mhm.
They get in the truck, and they're looking. I said, what are you looking for? He says, why do you roll down the window? I said, you see that crank right there? He goes, yeah. That's what you do. It's like, they were looking at me like, God, man, you're a dinosaur.
Yeah.
Oh, the other thing, too, that do you remember the venti pane? They used to call it the venti pane. Quarter window wing window. Remember the little vent
Yeah,
window on the
the
side?
little vent window that you had a little latch. Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, now, if you were in a luxury car, they had a little crank. Remember
Right.
the small little crank?
Yeah, yeah,
Most
just
of us-
yeah.
Most of us was just okay, and then you pushed it open. you
Right.
know. I think the first one was in 19.
That was the defroster back then.
That too.
Right? That was the defroster back then.
Yeah, they used to call them a venti pane, and it came out I think in 1933.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it came out I think in 1933, and I'm trying to remember. Oh, it was called the no draft individually controlled ventilation.
Yeah, big
Right?
name.
And they said, "Nah, we're going to rename that to the venti pane."
Yeah. I think that's-
Oh,
So
yeah.
I mean, so continuing on. So and we kind of talked about Google Maps too. So back then, okay, you either had if you wanted to get someplace and you asked directions,
Yes.
you either really had to know, had a good memory.
Yeah.
We had to write it down. Okay, you had to write it down. Now you just put your phone in your holder. Okay, type in what you want or talk to it and say,
Oh, sure.
and it just directs you all the way you want to do it. Did that today. It directed me to some place we were going this morning. Okay, to the particular bakery. So, okay, those are things really different. Definitely.
And the problem is, if you had some friends like I did, the last thing you want is for them to give you directions.
Oh well, yeah, really good friends there. That's a different story. I get that.
It was never good.
Yeah, I know. What else? So, well, let's see. Well, I worked in a gas station back in the early '60s. Excuse me, in the late '60s. I mean, it's a different experience then. This is in New York. I mean, used to pull into the gas station. I mean, as a gas jockey, I'd go out there. Everybody,
Right.
good morning. How are you, sir? Good ma'am. Whatever it is, how can I help you? Okay, out there. Yeah, fill it up with blah blah. Get it going. Go out there. Always did the window. Always clean the windows. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and certainly take the money. Okay, and go in, take the cash, bring it back again, and so on and so forth. I mean, it was a different experience. Okay,
Oh, yeah.
and so now, I mean, it was standard. Okay, there was no, okay, it was all attended and driven. And now, I think the only state that mandates that is New Jersey. I believe.
You might be right there.
Oregon used to be, but they just passed a law a couple of years ago. It gave an option. So if you wanted to self-serve, you could self-serve. If you wanted to use an attendant, you can.
Right.
So, yeah. So,
It's kind of like that movie Back to the Future.
yeah.
Texaco, the man that wears a star.
Yeah.
And the thing, the car drives up and like three guys come out and they start servicing the car.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you remember running over the little black hose?
Absolutely. Ding, ding. So I know that because I'd be inside working on a car or something like that. You hear the ding, it was at the gas pump.
Yeah.
Okay. And I remember, there was no digital stuff. Or however they now track how many gallons are going. Okay. You had to go out every day and read the pump.
Yes.
You literally go out and read the pump so you know where it started. Okay. And so on. You had to calculate it. You had to use arithmetic. Okay. To do all that kind of stuff. So things are different.
Yeah.
Things are different.
The thing that used to crack me up is that when they started self-serving, I don't know if you remember this, you could pump your gas and then go in and pay for it. You could pump the gas first, and then you would go in and pay for
In
it.
the old days, you could do that. There was this whole thing of trust. It's the honor system.
Yes.
You pump, you go in and pay. Well, that went away.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
How about the price of gas?
Well, if I recall correctly, I was paying under 30 cents a gallon.
You are correct, sir. You know what? I have the figures.
Yeah. Well, I remember paying 28 cents a gallon.
Yes.
Okay.
1955 average. This is average. The United States was 29 cents a gallon, which is equivalent to about $3.52 in 2026 dollars.
Wow. Okay.
66 was 31 cents.
Yeah, so at 28, 31. Okay, got that. Yeah, right.
Right.
Yes.
And this was equivalent to about 322. In
Right.
1975, it was 57 cents.
Yeah, wow.
About 356 and $26. Now, 1985, this is when it went to over $1.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was $1.12. And I remember my brother-in-law was saying, if it gets over $1, I refuse to pay. And I'm going like, yeah, they got you over a barrel.
Oh, that's the reason why they went to pay first. Okay, because he decided to get gas and not pay.
Yeah.
Going in
It was starting to get higher.
Yeah,
And then people just go, and then they split.
yeah,
You know?
yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
So I'm sure you have more to say.
No, I'm good with it.
Okay, so I wonder though. Okay, did you think about tracking the price and the taxes along with it?
I did not. It was just, that was the total
That would be
price.
interesting because back then, okay, my suspicions are that the gas taxes weren't very big. Okay, and now, like California,
Right.
do you know what the tax?
They're much larger now, but they were still pretty close to, I'm going to say, I remember looking at this, they were pretty close to 40% of the price of gas was taxes, even back then.
Even back then. Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Even back then. I remember because there was a picture at one time of this guy who was, it was in, I think, 1958, and he listed everything,
Uh-huh.
you know. And like I said, the majority of it was, 40% of it was taxes.
Yeah, I believe.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so it's always been a lot of taxes on gas.
yeah. No, I'm trying to think of. There's a lot of taxes on keep up roads and everything else, and
Yeah.
so, of course, now with the electric vehicles, that's kind of messing things up.
Yeah.
So they'll figure out how to do that. They'll just charge you more on the registration.
That's what happened. That was happened 10 years ago. Remember, California was telling us, you guys have to buy more fuel-efficient cars. We, being the patriots that we are, we did. And then all of a sudden they started going like, where's all the tax revenue?
Yeah, right.
You told us to buy these kind of cars.
Who didn't think that through?
Yeah.
No, who all these smart people didn't think that through? So moving along though.
Yeah.
Now I'm trying to think. I swear, I had I had a little International Scout
Oh, okay.
that I used when I was to tour some people. Whatever. Anyway, that's a long story. Okay, and it had a choke. Do you remember the chokes
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I had it in my first car.
in your first car? Yeah, I didn't have a choke in.
Chevy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
People, I mean, regular people, they don't know about chokes in a car.
Mhm.
I mean, if you're a rancher or something like that, or a farmer, okay, your cars may not be there, but your tractors have stuff, so you might be familiar with it. But city people, they don't know what a choke is. Okay, these days. Okay, I mean, you had to do that. You had to time it and put the choke on to try to get that car started in the
Yeah.
cold weather.
Yes.
Okay. And I remember being back when I lived back east in the New York winters,
Yes.
wishing like hell, okay, that I could be able to plug my car in overnight,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
to be able to warm that sucker up, okay. And I didn't have it. I didn't have a place to do it from. So, I mean, it's yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember talking with guys from the East Coast, and they
Mhm.
would say they would put a work light,
Yeah.
in their under the car, because that way wouldn't the water or antifreeze wouldn't freeze.
I know you'd run an extension cord or something from the house all the way out to your car,
Yeah.
do something,
Mhm.
okay, to plug in something to keep it warm.
Oh, yeah.
Because I remember getting into 7 o'clock in the morning on, in a 0-degree day. I mean, for those that live in below zero weather, I know that's not really cold, but for me, that was cold.
Yeah.
Okay, getting in there like this, just waiting to try to warm up a little bit. It
Oh
took
yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. And then, how long did it take us to warm it up?
a long time.
10 minutes. Remember?
Oh, yeah.
You would start your car, come in the house. My dad would come in the house, get us a cup of coffee, then go back out.
Yep, absolutely.
I
Yep.
said, well, Dad, why do you have to do that? He said, well, son, the car's cold-blooded. It's always the cold-blooded.
That's a good way to put it. Cold-blooded car. Yeah, I remember those cold mornings. But these days, the cars they warm up a lot
Yes, they
quicker,
do. Yes,
a lot
they do.
quicker. So yeah. So
Mhm.
now I know I used to work on my cars,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
and so
They call us, what would they used to call us? Tree shade mechanics. You just park under a tree with the shade, and you could do the entire tune-up.
yeah, no, I would do all the tune-ups. I'd tune ups. I'd do brakes. Okay,
Oh yeah.
I do generators, alternators, starters. Okay, I did a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
I wouldn't dream of it now. Of course, I probably couldn't get off the ground, but because you used to do it on the ground. Okay.
Yeah, but it's a lot harder now. You gotta. I mean, I have a grandson who works on his cars.
Okay.
I mean, the kid's got to have like a computer degree.
Oh no. Oh no. You
Plugs it in, and I mean, he really, really knows his stuff. And I said, you know what? When I tuned up my car, hey, change the condenser, set the points, gap the plugs, I'm done.
Okay. And every I don't know how many thousands of miles you change the wires.
Yeah.
You change the wires. Yeah. But yeah, all that it wasn't. And I remember going from drum brakes to disc brakes and making that transition. But yeah, and I enjoyed that. Okay, as far as that's concerned.
Yeah.
So, but that's a lost thing. And I taught my son some stuff, but I probably wasn't a good dad in teaching him more. But at this point, he wouldn't work on his car anyway.
You can't.
They're too complicated.
You can't. Oh, how about a cassette adapter? Do you remember that one?
Yeah, you had to have a
I
cassette.
had one. When the CD started coming out,
Yep.
you would replace your 8-track with a cassette. And
Right,
before you know it, the cassettes were out of dated and they were using CDs.
That's right. And that happened relatively quickly when you think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd plug this thing in with a wire, and the wire would go to your portable CD player, and it was crazy.
Okay. Again, totally different than just streaming now. It's interesting because in my truck, which is a 2007 Tundra, the CD and audio it died. Okay.
Right.
So I didn't want to go to Toyota and replace with a Toyota thing because that's $1 billion.
Yeah.
So I went to a stereo person, and I said, I want one that's got a CD player in it. And he kind of looked at me. He says, "Well, not seeing too many of those these days, but I think we can get you an AudioVox, I think something like that. I think I've got one, so that's what I've got. I still got a CD player. Okay. Anyway, that's crazy. So, and now I didn't really do this, but I bet you did. Okay. Hanging fuzzy stuff from the rearview mirror.
Well, let me think. No.
Okay.
I did not. If anything, if you were going to hang stuff in my neighborhood, it was not the fuzzy dice. It usually was either the rosary,
Okay.
okay,
Yeah.
or the car scent.
Oh, well, the car scent. Yes, the car scent I would do.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, I would do that.
Rosary, I don't think you would do that.
Yeah, but there was a lot of people who were started to customize their cars and
Oh, yeah,
a lot of
that was a big
decals
time.
and bumper stickers and all that kind of stuff. I never really got into that.
Mhm,
Not
mhm.
not personally, but
Oh,
yeah, I do remember though, because there's a lot of strict safety rules now
Yeah.
about what you can have blocking your vision and so on.
Right.
I guess I better not tell the story. Hmm. No, it's okay. I could tell the story. So
Statutes of limitations over, I'm sure.
Jackie and myself
Mhm.
and her brother and his wife, we were up in Tahoe, and we were driving back from the casinos.
Mhm.
I had a headset that I would plug in, okay, that I would use, okay, and when I didn't,
Mhm.
with a wire wrapped around it,
Right.
and I get pulled over by a cop. And he comes over and he says, I forget what he said. He said, that needs to come down or something like that. And magically, I went up and the whole thing just came right off just like that. Okay. I was afraid I would have trouble getting it off because I think he was trying to measure my condition came from
Oh,
a casino
okay. All right.
or who knows whatever else. Okay. But no, right up, yep, doop, 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 went on my merry way.
Mhm.
Anyway, safety. So you can't do that stuff these days. Hang that.
Right.
All right. And the other thing, which is, well, you had to do it back then anyway, unless you wrote it down, you had to memorize phone numbers.
Oh yeah. And the most important one is if it was a AAA or
Or something like that, somewhere you can get help.
yeah.
Yeah. It said, yeah, there was no contact list that you could put in your phones and everything else.
Yeah.
You know, and most people probably didn't carry around a little, telephone book. Okay,
Oh,
with
yeah.
the numbers. So, I remember those days. I used to remember. I remembered numbers.
Yeah.
I knew numbers. Don't ask for my phone number now. Okay, from back in the '60s, I know it was like 5 numbers. I think. I don't remember.
That was a real early with
Yeah.
just 5 numbers. I remember my first. I remember my phone number, but it had what is it, seven characters, 2 and 3, 10 characters, 213. It was
Yeah.
213-223-9341.
Okay.
But yeah, yeah, I remember. Yeah, because once you got stuck out there,
Yeah.
you got to go to a pay phone, and you better know the number you're after.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh. How about paying tolls with exact change?
Okay, that was a pain. You had to be prepared. You
Yes.
really had to be, because it was exact change. Okay,
Yeah.
that's what you had to do.
Yeah.
There weren't a lot of toll takers. Okay, I remember like New Jersey Turnpike and stuff like that. Yeah,
Mhm.
that changing now. Now you can get these things, you just fly through and they just take it off your account.
Oh yeah.
The fast tracks and everything else.
Oh yeah, absolutely. How about parallel parking without sensors or cameras?
Okay, yeah. Well, yes. Yeah.
I
And my
still-
vehicles don't have my vehicles don't have that kind of help. I get a beep if I'm in my car, if I'm about ready to back into something, but that's
right.
yeah.
It's tough for me to park my wife's edge
Okay.
because I can't see the front, because how they do the front. Because remember when you're pulling, remember the old cars, they
You
had
could
like a
see
straight
the
hood?
Yes.
And then the whole idea of parallel parking is when that corner, if you're looking straight out and that corner goes straight to the street, that corner of that car, the passenger side corner where that car ends, you get it
Mhm.
straight, that's when you start cutting it,
Mhm.
cutting back, and it goes in. Well, I can't, there's no corner there.
Yeah.
It just goes, and so I can't, so you can't tell when that car's coming back. But remember, with the passenger side corner of that car would hit straight down the street, then you'd make that turn. But
Yeah.
no.
Well, yeah. I use my mirrors to park. Okay,
Yeah.
that's what I do. I'm really
That's what I do as well too.
I could do mirrors, but you're talking about your edge. I've got a C-Max, and where's the front? I think it's out there somewhere because you can't see it. And you know what irritates me? Because I can't tell you how many times it's got. I don't know what they call them, but underneath the bumper in the front, they got this hard, like it's almost like hard cardboard type stuff,
Right.
Okay. and that's supposed to. How many times that I go up on the parking curb? Okay, I go because I can't see the front of the stinking car.
I know. That's so bad, huh?
Now, when I've if I've flown back for the Bay Area,
Yeah.
I rent a car.
Mhm.
Okay, now it's a different story. Now I remember the first time I was driving along. Okay, and I guess I was getting a little too close, and it beeped. It's like, what the hell? Okay, so they got this lane assist, and they got this which I really don't like, the cruise control thing, the
Yes.
adaptive cruise control. Okay, so you're driving along, I set it at whatever I set it at. It's usually higher than the speed limit. Shh. Coming up on a car, and it slows automatically.
Yeah.
I don't want, no, I want to be in control. So some things that I don't really like.
Yeah. That's what my dad used to say about manual transmissions. He said,
Yeah.
in a manual transmission, you drive a car. An automatic transmission, you steer a car.
Yeah, boy, that's
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
And in some cars, you don't even do anything. You just put in your destination.
There you go.
And I'm not sure if I'm looking forward to that or not.
Yeah. How about the cars being a date spot? Remember?
I was going to say that's probably the best thing about cars back then.
They were
Now-
big enough.
Now this is going to get a little on the edge, so I'll try to. So, thinking about a date spot car, of all your cars, which was the best date spot car?
Mhm.
That's a question.
I know. What is it?
I'm asking you yours.
Oh, I didn't date. You forget. I was a knucklehead kid, man.
Wait a second. You dated Kathy.
Eventually, yeah.
Okay, so did you ever neck in a car with her?
Let me think. Yes, I believe I did.
Okay, well, never mind.
Yeah.
Okay, I can't.
I was
Okay.
pretty, you know.
I'm not going to go down the rest of this. If we can't compare the cars for dating, I'm not even going to go into mine. Next topic. Okay.
Yeah, next topic. Yeah, that was not me, man.
Although, but I could tell you though, it was all foggy windows and all.
You're right. I saw plenty of those.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Part of it, but I saw plenty of them.
Yeah. Now I remember before seatbelts.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, me too.
And it was probably, let's see, I don't remember if it was after my dad died or not. I think it was. So I was somewhere between 10 and 12.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And we had an Oldsmobile Delta 88, I think.
Oh yeah, that was a great car.
I think that's what it was. My family was an Oldsmobile family. I think it was the Delta 88.
Uh-huh.
We, for whatever reason, went out to drove from Jersey into Connecticut, and I was laying down in the front seat, and for some reason my mom had to stomp on the brakes, and boom, I went right into the dashboard.
Oof.
She took me to the hospital. I had a concussion, which I didn't. So I remember those seatbelts very well. Okay.
You're not kidding.
So at 62, I think was the year that the mandates came in, but they gave a time period for the cars to have them.
Right,
And
right.
you know what that is.
Yeah, and it was suggested.
It might have been strong. It was suggested they do it now, but there was a time frame that they had to by, and I think it got into the 70s by the time it was mandatory.
Yes.
I don't remember exactly. Yeah, but yeah, no, I remember that without the seatbelts and everything.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Now, I mean, now for crying out loud, the thing beeps at you if you don't put it on. Okay,
It's true.
and some of them are really obnoxious beeps. Okay, some of them. Okay, now something that I know you did. I know I did, okay, when I got a car, and I do that now anyway, even with other stuff, is to read the owner's manual from cover to cover.
I'll be honest with you, I didn't do that on Kathy's because it's so thick. The old ones, yeah, I mean, they were only like this.
Well, that's true, yeah.
Reading War and Peace.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but I still scan through for the important stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
All my old cars, I went, you're right, cover to cover.
Yeah. Now, were you into CBs?
I was not.
Okay.
I did have one, though. I did have one, but it came with the car when I bought it.
Oh, no, I didn't. Okay, I CB is Citizens Band radios for those that don't know. And it's what truckers use. Of course, now they use their phones, but they use whatever they use. CBs too. But it was kind of fun out there, 10-4 big buddy and, over and so on and so forth. And you could go up and down the interstates and conversations with people you didn't know. You'd have a call name. I don't remember what mine was.
Mm-hmm.
So CBs were very, very important. So there's a lot of people that got into that.
Yeah. And speaking of, what you call it? Speaking of having to take care of your car, remember we used to check the oil and the transmission fluid all the time.
Did brake fluid? Okay, everything else, absolutely. Washer fluid. Again, I took care of my car. Okay, I did all of that. Okay, I still check my oil periodically.
Yeah.
Okay, long periodically. And I used to do it. I got it. Why did I get out of this? I did the religion anywhere I was going to go someplace like distance. I would always check the oil.
Oh, sure, absolutely.
I hope they do it anymore.
It was so funny. Is I had a car. And I think it was my HHR. I think it was the HHR.
Mm-hmm.
And I went and I said, I just got it. I'm real happy with it. It was an SS. And I said, so I was having the guy go through it with me. And he said, how do you check the transmission fluid? He says, you don't. It's sealed. What? He says, no, you don't have to check it. You just have to change it every 100 and something miles or whatever.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, that's amazing to me.
Yeah, no, I know it's amazing on there. Absolutely.
Well, basically what you're saying is cars are more mechanical.
Yeah, it was more analog mechanical. It was more of a hands-on type thing.
Yeah.
Things that were digital now. Okay. And now, now to work on a car, there's more stuff has to be moved so you can get to where you got to get to. Okay. Like the battery in my C-Max. It's not up front. It's buried in the back. Underneath. Okay. It cost me $400 and some odd to put a new battery in that.
It's all labor, huh?
Okay. Yeah, it's all labor. Okay. It's all labor. And I looked at the manual and I looked online. I was going to do it. And I said, no, I'm not going to do it.
I'm doing it.
I don't want to do it. The other thing now, which isn't on this list, which in 10 years from now, it'll probably be something we could talk about.
Okay.
Spare tires. Now, we used to change our tires all the time, right?
Yeah.
My car does not have a spare tire.
It's got a little donut, doesn't it?
Doesn't have a spare tire.
Oh, really?
Period. And the Ford C-Max, there is no, and there's more cars now that are coming out without spare tires.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'll tell you. And it was interesting because you remember my M3? Of course you remember my M3.
Yes.
Okay. Had that.
Sure.
I went to trade it in to buy that because I was done with it. Okay. And already made the transaction, already signed the paperwork. Now I'm in my trunk, cleaning out the trunk. I said, I went back in the showroom because I never thought of this. Okay. Why would you? I went and said, by the way, where's the spare tire? There's no spare tire. I didn't think to have to ask for that. Why would you ask about if there's always a spare tire? It's underneath the car or it's underneath, you lift up the back. Well, in the electric cars and the hybrids, some of these cars, you got that electric motor, there's nowhere. So what do? They give up the tire. They don't plan for it to give safe weight.
So forget that. Huh? You get a flat tire, you're done.
I was done. I got a flat tire. Come back to Hawaii with the kids. I waited almost 4 hours, in Oakland, for AAA to come.
Oh,
okay. They towed me back to my house, and I ended, whatever, it's a long story. So, but that was, you know what? I mean, there's been a lot of changes, and there'll be more.
Yeah.
15,
one more, we'll call it quits. What do you say?
Okay.
How about, and this was our parents, not us, plastic seat covers.
Oh, yes. Yes. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yes. No, I remember them plastic seat covers, not only in the cars, but also on the couches.
Yes. And the furniture.
Yeah. And the furniture.
Oh, man.
Now I don't see plastic. I see Hawaiian themes. I see big furry things and everything else. And so you're right. So.
You turn the corner, you just go whoosh.
Yeah.
You slide across. I mean, they were so big, you could have a family of 4 live in these cars.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, what about the other way? Wait, I actually thought of another one. Okay.
What is it?
What about the early convertibles?
What about them?
All manual.
Oh,
manual convertible.
But it was motorized.
Okay. Yeah. No. They were early the convertibles. They were manual.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So everything. So. Yeah. Oh, in 15, 20 years, it'll be interesting to look back and see where the technology is on cars. Because you're right, there's going to be a lot more autonomous cars on the road. Okay. And so may I live long enough to see that.
Yeah. I was going to say we have to live and be aware.
Okay. Yes. Be aware.
We don't need to be in a restaurant drooling on ourselves.
Yeah. I don't mean it that way. Okay. Anyway, this is fun. This is fun. Good.
All right, my man. Let's. What do you say we wait until next week? Come up with something else. What do you say, my man?
We'll figure something out.
All right. You have a great one. Okay.
You too. Okay. Bye.
Bye.
We'd like to thank you for listening and remind you if you happen to have any baby boomer topics you'd like us to cover, just email us at growingupboomer@gmail.com. And until next time, may God bless.